Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Big surprise, James Gunn and DC released a new Superman teaser trailer with an even bigger trailer coming later this week. So, really great way to start your holiday break. And even though there are a couple Easter eggs in the actual teasers that they released, like both music teasers that you probably detected, some hints of the John Williams classic Superman theme, but it is meant to be part of the new Superman theme. There's even an Easter egg behind why they're waiting to release the teaser trailer until this week when they could have released it a couple weeks ago. So we'll break it all down, and I'll do a much bigger video later this week when the full trailer is released, so be sure to subscribe to be the first to watch that. We will be freaking out all week. But as a lot of you probably guessed when they released these teasers, the reason why James Gunn and DC waited till this particular week to release the first big trailer is because it's the anniversary of the premiere of the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie. It was released in the United States December 15th, 1978, and it's December 16th as of me posting this video. The reason why they didn't release it on the actual 15th is because they wanted to wait right before the holiday weekend because everybody's going on break, all the kids are going to be out of school, and they're probably going to attach the trailer to the Sonic 3 movie, which is releasing in the United States on Thursday this week when the trailer is coming out. That movie is probably going to do about $1 billion in box office, so it just makes sense for them to attach the Superman trailer to the biggest movie that's going to be out over the holidays.
The Sonic universe is all-encompassing. Only a fool would try to quantify it.
And just from a pure marketing standpoint, it does make sense to hit people with something right before they go on break. Most people in the world, even if they don't celebrate Christmas, for example, have holiday breaks at the very end of the year. We're basically getting ready to start that period. It's the same reason why Marvel is probably going to try and compete by releasing one of their bigger trailers this week too. Maybe Daredevil Born Again full official trailer, maybe a new Captain America 4 trailer, maybe a Thunderbolts trailer. Feels a little too early to release that first Fantastic Four trailer, but we'll see what Marvel does. Just expect everybody to release something really big this week from all the big studios. The actual teaser footage is both of him in the suit flying, this is the official poster, but they also released a motion poster where it actually looks like he's flying through the sky, and there's a teaser for the brand new Superman theme music. It has echoes of the classic John Williams Superman theme, but it is meant to be a new theme song, so this is actually the full clip that they released of that. What they'll probably do is put the full version of that theme music on the official trailer later this week, and then James Gunn will probably release it online, the actual music itself. That's actually a brand new phenomenon the last couple of years, where they'll also officially release the trailer music for a trailer if they write some brand new theme music that's going to be in the movie. Most of you probably remember back in the day, several years ago, people would just rip the music out of actual trailers because people would want to listen to the actual theme music separately from the trailers after you watch the trailer a billion times. Now the studios are finally catching up by just doing it themselves. You would be surprised by how many big studios are now copying a lot of things that YouTubers used to do back in the day. This other new clip is of the Fortress of Solitude with the camera rotating around from an upside-down perspective. It might be Superman's perspective as he's just floating through the air, or just an overhead shot of the camera coming down into the fortress from the sky. But the actual teaser language at the end of this, where it says "look up in the sky," was actually the same teaser language they used for the first Christopher Reeve movie when they were marketing that too. Look up in the sky. The actual poster itself is designed to look like the original Christopher Reeve Superman posters. James Gunn and DC also purchased the release rights to the Christopher Reeve biopic Superman Christopher Reeve story. They put it in theaters for a while, but it's also on Max right now. You should be able to watch it if you haven't seen it yet. That movie is about his entire life, not just about his life as Superman. You might have also seen that one of his sons also has a cameo in the new Superman movie as a reporter. I think it's only meant to be a really small cameo, but it is still cool of him to be in the movie. He looks just like his father, Christopher Reeve. I think they were filming his cameo when they were filming in Cleveland, Ohio. One of the big reasons why the movie filmed in Cleveland, Ohio is because it's the birthplace of Superman in the comics. That's where Siegel and Schuster were when they created the Superman character. Like, they lived in the Cleveland area. Last year, they literally celebrated the 85th anniversary of the Superman character. There have been a couple official teasers that they've already released this year. Biggest takeaway is probably that the trunks are back. Superman's trunks are back. A while ago, he actually did a poll. Turns out he was actually just messing with us because he had probably already decided to bring the trunks back way before he ever did this. The last time we saw a live-action Superman in a movie wearing the trunks was Brandon Routh's Superman, and he was actually meant to canonically be Christopher Reeve's Superman, so really it's Christopher Reeve's Superman is the last one to wear the trunks.
Who are you?
A friend.
The actual suit itself is meant to be a combination of the Kingdom Come suit with the logo, the Max Fleischer Superman cartoon suit with the yellow around the edge of the logo itself, and the New 52 suit with the collar, so it's meant to be an amalgam of a bunch of different Superman suits from different eras. The suit itself might also have a backstory like the one from My Adventures with Superman, where it is a Kryptonian suit. It starts out being made by Kryptonians, but his mother winds up modifying it, and that's why it looks like it was something that a human made on Earth. Like, it seems way more lo-fi than Henry Cavill's Superman suit, which was made by Kryptonians and found on the Kryptonian ship. Notice it's already super dirty. It almost looks like he's finishing superhero work for the day as he's taking his boots off, while you have this giant backdrop of a huge battle going on in the sky with a couple of giant sky beams firing at Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Like, I think it's his Green Lantern ring energy that's blocking the beam here in the background. So what's going on with Superman? It just looks like he's in his apartment putting his boots on one at a time, but he's just been out already saving the world recently and hasn't had time to rest. So a lot of people were just wondering, is he getting home from work or is he leaving to go save the world again? The other really noticeable thing about the suit, like zoom in and hands, is there's a bunch of sagging portions like creases, like a normal human's suit that they would wear. As opposed to, say, like Henry Cavill's Superman suit, which looks like it was welded to his skin. Now, they might tune this up in post-production because James Gunn said that there is no actual post-production or Photoshop that they did to touch this photo up. It was captured in camera. What that means, if you've never filmed anything or you've never been on a film set before, is that they were filming with the camera that they're using, and this is just an image taken from that reel without any touch-up, without any post-production on it. The weird depth of field thing going on in the background that you're probably detecting, like, a lot of people felt like it looked a little weird. Like, this looks kind of like a Photoshop in the background. What's going on here? That's probably because they're filming indoors using the volume for all this big stuff going on in the background with Green Lantern versus Brainiac or whoever he's actually fighting here. Matt Reeves used the volume a lot when he was filming the Batman movie. It looks kind of like this. It's basically like a bunch of video walls. They use it all the time on the Star Wars TV shows too. So if you just walked in and took a picture of Superman sitting in a chair, putting his boots on one at a time like a regular old Joe, in the background was this video wall, this is what it would look like, which is probably why this picture looks like this. It's meant to be more of a behind-the-scenes picture, not like an official photoshopped-up picture like they usually release. We'll probably get a version of that sometime soon too, like him actually flying around or actually doing something out in broad daylight. A lot of people think the suit gives off some Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. I don't know about that, but it does have a very homemade textured kind of feel. Part of the thing I think with this version of Superman, David Corenswet Superman, is that James Gunn wanted him to feel like much more of a real-world, actual kind of person that you would run into on the street that would actually help you out if you needed him and you were just a regular person. When he was talking about Superman a while ago, he actually made a comment like that when he was talking about Christopher Reeve's Superman, like somebody who would help a little girl get her cat out of a tree.
Who captures that spirit. The thing they don't talk about much when they talk about Christopher Reeve, they talk about his pureness, his hope, his goodness. They talk about, the way that he plays Clark as being so different from the way he plays Superman and how he can turn that on in an instant.
Oh. Bye, Frisky. Long now.
But there's this playfulness about Superman. When he's saving a cat, he's got that wry smile. And that is one of the best parts of the movie, is the playfulness of Superman. He enjoys what he's doing. He likes helping human beings.
One of the big differences with Henry Cavill's Superman is that Zack Snyder was really intent on turning him into this epic god-level myth. A lot of Christianity myths too, like you have all these crosses with the concept art of the background too. So during the Zack Snyder era of Superman, like the Snyderverse or whatever you want to call it, the DCEU, you had more of a Christ type of Superman. I think we can say with this very Kingdom Come, real-world Superman-looking kind of figure, James Gunn is going the opposite direction from that. But just in general, it feels like he's trying to lean more heavily on a classic-feeling Superman, going back to the older versions of the character like Christopher Reeve, going even back to George Reeves, which was played by Ben Affleck in another movie. Everybody forgets that Ben Affleck briefly played a version of Superman. Now, it was a bit of a spicy backstory because if you don't know George Reeves' actual story, it's kind of a tragedy. But you notice he also wore the trunks. Supposedly, the movie's also inspired by All-Star Superman, which is from Grant Morrison's run. Grant Morrison is one of the people who also talked about doing Superman is the character who had everyday types of problems, like a Superman who had god-level powers, but who also had to deal with everyday types of things. So he's sitting in his chair here, kind of like Kingdom Come Superman, putting his boots on one at a time, like a normal person, going to work like a normal person. Everybody post all your reactions, and my full Superman trailer video will post later this week after they release it. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Everybody click here for that full trailer. I'll update the link as soon as I post that video, and click here to learn about Henry Cavill's brand new Warhammer series, which seems like it is going to be absolute fire. Cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.